Hi guys, Sassy here with another video. My husband wanted some cinnamon rolls. I've been promising him cinnamon rolls for about a week now, so guess what? We're making cinnamon rolls. So I went online, went on Pinterest again, favorite y'all. If you don't know, if you're new here, you're new on keto, go to Pinterest. They have tons and tons of recipes for keto lovers and many more. If you're not keto, they have recipes there for you as well, but this one, I mean, and every recipe they have is from different sites, different people. Try different ones, see what you like, see what you don't like. I'm making the videos to show you guys stuff that I'm trying out myself for the first time as well on cooking. Pretty soon I'll be posting some videos of stuff that I will be keto-izing myself on some of the recipes that I've had throughout the years and that I want to learn how to make, and I've been establishing them myself and making ingredients and stuff like that, and I will start to be showing them soon. But some of them are still in the works and need a little bit more tweaking. So enough babbling on. Let's go ahead and get making these keto cinnamon rolls. I got this one from, I believe it is lowcarbyum.com, and I just wanted to see how it tasted, you know, because everybody likes cinnamon rolls. Cinnamon rolls are really good, and it's hard to get sweets when you're on the keto diet that you thought that would taste good. But I found the love of my life, munkfruit sweetener. Best sweetener I could have got, no matter if it's gold, regular, powdered. It's great. I mean, it doesn't leave an aftertaste. It works great. So what we're going to do here now is the ingredients that I'm going to be using is a half a cup of coconut flour, a fourth of a cup of low carb sugar substitute, which I'm going to be using my munkfruit golden sweetener just because it is a baked good. I like the taste of the golden versus the Lakanto regular sugar. We're going to do 2 tablespoons of baking powder. And then we're going to do 2.5 cups of mozzarella cheese. And we're going to do 2 ounces of cream cheese, 3 large eggs, 2 tablespoons of butter melted, and then a half a teaspoon of vanilla extract. Is optional if you want, but it ain't cinnamon rolls without vanilla, guys. So you got to have the vanilla. It gives it that extra taste, that extra flavor. So we're going to taste it and see how it goes. So the first thing we're going to do, it says that you need to preheat your oven for 400 degrees. Well, y'all know I'm a new wave oven girl when it is summer. In the winter, I will use my oven more, but right now it is not. So mine will be different because I will be baking it at 350. Because my new wave oven does cook faster in my area. So this is what I'm going to be doing. So what it's telling me to do is first I need to mix my flour and my sweetener and baking powder in a small bowl. So here's my coconut flour and my baking powder. Oh, let me put this down, sorry about that. And my munkfruit gold. Oof. And it's a little bit muggy out today because of all the storms, but let me get all that goodness out of there. Okay, baking powder in a small bowl. We're going to sift so we don't have any chunks. And I ran out of coconut flour, so I had to run to the store before I made this recipe so I can get me some coconut flour. So it is not in the freezer, so it's not super clumpy. Okay, so we're going to set that over there. And of course I'm going to mix it all up so you can get that baking powder mixed up with the coconut flour and the sugar. Guys, I'm excited. I've been wanting cinnamon rolls for a while. And believe you me, the last video that I did on the lemon cake, wow, I couldn't believe it. I was like, it does. You could taste a very little hint of coconut, but not a lot. I mean, you really don't notice the difference if you haven't had that carbs from like the flour and the wheat flour and stuff. Then you definitely don't notice a difference once you get used to the texture. It's almost exactly like lemon bread. It's just got that little extra fat in it for the fats that you need for your keto diet. I mean, it's almost like a fat bomb. It is so good. I'm like, definitely a small piece. I ate, 2 servings of it, and then I had to put it away because it was so addicting. So anyways, back to our cinnamon rolls. Okay, now it's going to tell us to set this to the side. So what I'm going to do now is here, I have 2.5 cups of shredded mozzarella cheese. So I actually have a big old block of cheese I bought from Sam's. So I prefer to shred my own cheese. That way it's a little bit, oh, go away, shoot. It gives me a little bit more in the package. Cents per saving, you got to save wherever you can. Okay, so on the cheese, you're going to melt your cheese and cream cheese together. So here I have the 2 ounces of cream cheese that I measured out on my scale. So you're just going to put that in there. What it tells you to do is you're gonna microwave it for 1 minute. You're going to take it out and stir it, and then you're going to microwave it for another minute just so it's nice and stringy and mixes together very well. So I'm going to put that in there to melt. Let's see, what else does it say here? Microwave for high, another minute. Okay, and then it's going to tell me to add in the egg, butter, and vanilla. Lord have mercy. The flies come in, opened up the door for a little bit. And I just got 1. Driving me crazy. Okay, add beaten egg, butter, and vanilla extract. Okay, I added my vanilla extract in with my egg. No, that is not blood. I added my vanilla extract in there so that way I can just beat it up and get it ready. So I'm going to pour all this together. And then I'm going to get my butter in here. And this is softened butter already. So that way I could just mix it all together, have it ready. And my eggs are room temperature. They are not cold, because if your eggs are cold, they're going to make your cheese, you're going to have to microwave your cheese a little bit more if your eggs are cold. So make sure your eggs are room temp, along with your butter, room temp. Ooh, almost didn't get that. And you see it's starting to melt really good. So what you're going to do is you're going to make sure you mix up your cream cheese and your mozzarella really well. Really well. Make sure it's incorporated. And this actually did really good. And this was almost the full 2 minutes, and it's super stringy, super ready to go. I just have 28 seconds left. So now that it's fully incorporated, bring you guys in for a closer look here. No, camera's falling. So this will give you a better look at what it is. It's nice and stringy and very sticky. So what it's telling me is to add the egg and everything, but if I might add my egg and everything to this right now, it's gonna cook my egg. So what I do to substitute it is I put my powder, all my flour and everything in there. And now I'm going to pour my egg ingredients and the butter in here, and then I'm going to gradually mix it together. Because that way it's not going to cook my egg. The flour is going to cool it off just a tad bit. This is going to be a very sticky recipe, is what it is calling for. So it's telling you that it's going to be sticky. So you're just going to incorporate this with the cheese really well. I'm going to have to get my hands dirty here in a minute. And the idea is to get the cheese and all the flour and everything incorporated. And y'all, if it cools off too much for you and you can't mix, you could stick it back in the microwave and heat up your mozzarella a little bit more just to get it heated up. And for me, this is still nice and warm. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take and dab my hands. I would do it with a little bit of oil, but I think it's got enough in it. So what I did is I went and got a little bit of water. And I do this same thing with my bagels. And I'm just going to continue to work it. And this bowl is really good for not sticking. The popping noise is the bottom because I heated the bowl up and it's now cooling. And see, it's not sticking to my hands. It's really well incorporated. If it does get sticky, just take and go right, dab your hands right back in the water, rub it, and continue on. And we got a really nice dough. It's not sticky. This looks great. It's very fluffy. So I'm pretty happy with that. So I'm going to let it sit there for just a minute. And let me go wash my hands real quick. Alright, so next thing that we're going to do, put this together, just put that over there. Now we get to have some fun. I have some parchment paper here that I'm going to be using. I need to make sure it's on the right side. This is what I'm going to be rolling my dough out on. Two pieces here. Alright. Actually, I used wax paper, not parchment paper. Sorry, guys. This is not what I wanted. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to roll this out. I'm going to try and push it down as much as I can. This is already surprising me, guys, because it looks good. And my little bitty rolling pin. Alright, now we're going to take this out of here so we can roll this out here. Let me get you down here so you can see. Ooh, getting some off of the paper. So, and it's going to say roll out to about 9 by 12 inches. So we're going to try and see what we can get here. This is supposed to make 12 cinnamon rolls. I have to. I'm going to have to move some of that. And I'm just going to leave that just like that. Make sure I'm not getting sticky here. can pick some off, put it over here, just to level it out. Get some of them edges. Okay, so I can use that for a different one. That rolled out perfectly. Okay, so now what it also tells me is in a bowl I need to combine my monk fruit golden with my butter and then sprinkle my cinnamon over the top. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take and it tells me to mix it all together, but I am not going to mix it all together. I am going to put some down and then I will drizzle. And you want to make sure to leave that little bit, probably about an inch of it, so that way it'll roll up and you'll have a good seal on the end of it. So that way, if you get that cinnamon and the butter and everything in it, yeah. So I'm just gonna drench it a little bit. And then I'm going to put some cinnamon and the sugar on here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going just to sprinkle my sugar. I'm kind of excited about this, y'all. Cinnamon rolls. Cinnamon, cinnamon, cinnamon. Alright, here's all the sweetener. Okay, put that there. And here's my cinnamon. I love the smell of cinnamon. Okay, doesn't that look delicious, guys? So now what I'm going to do is let's see if this works, because this is what it tells me to do, is slowly take your paper and roll it. It is coming so pretty. Nice and tight. And it came off perfect. Alright. So now what I'm going to do is you need something really sharp because it's going to be sticky. There it is. Sorry about that, guys. Alright. This is super sharp. I don't have any string to really do it. And they said you're supposed to put 12 pieces. Now my ends, those are going to be the best parts, because those parts are the ones that I'm just going to kind of throw together. And she said 1 inch thick. But, okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm not going to get 12, y'all. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So, yep, technically 12. I have a little extra left over, but I'll add it to the one here on the I'll probably add it to this one on the end because this one's really tiny. Alright, let's see how this does. Get this out of the way. Just here. Now, I have one of my Rubbermaid pans that I have. I love it because it's non-stick. You don't have to spray it. Everything cooks evenly and wonderful. But I have a little butter extra left over, so you don't have to, but I'm going to. And I'm just gonna put some butter on the edges. And the rest of this butter, I'm just gonna use to sprinkle on top of the cinnamon rolls. And then I might drizzle some monk fruit sugar on top. I am not sure. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put them in here. I want them to rise really good. So, oh, that was a thick one. So, I don't know if I can get them all in here, but we sure will try. And that way they're still going to be good and poofy. They're going to rise together. I don't know about y'all, but I don't mind them rising together. Let me see, yeah, these are really small. So what I can do is I'm going to make this one just a tad bit bigger. And if they fill the pan, that's fine by me, I don't care. And then I just have this little bitty one left. So just stick this off to the side here. And just let it rise so we're not wasting anything. So, and there I have my keto cinnamon rolls. Guys, the dough turned out super amazing. Really easy to work with, a lot easier than I thought it would be. And it's a fathead dough. So now I'm just taking and drizzle a little bit of butter over the top of them. I was going to sprinkle some sugar on top. Nope, that's not big. Oh, I forgot my deal. I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of cinnamon on top. Just to give it a little extra cinnamon. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick it in my New Wave. And it says to do, what'd I say, 14 to 16 minutes. So I will come back when these are done and ready. And then I'll take you through once they get done, okay? So let me put these in there. Okay, so I'm going to set these in. Alright, cook time 16 minutes at 350 for me. I will let you all know how it turns out when I come back, okay? See you in a minute. Alright guys, welcome back. Well, that approximately took me about 22 minutes, just because I put so many cinnamon rolls in the pan at one time because I like them to raise to where they're going to be fluffy. So while I'm letting them sit over on the rack, I took them out here and they're sitting on the rack cooling because it does require you to cool slightly before you frosting them. So now we're going to go ahead and we're going to make the frosting. I did not get my beater. So let me get my beaters for my machine here so that way we can make some frosting here. I don't want to take and do this by hand because it'll turn out fluffier if I do it this way. Alright, so what it's asking for the topping for the icing is 3 ounces of cream cheese, which I took my scale and I measured 3 ounces of cream cheese. It left half of an ounce in my packet that I had left, so I just went ahead and put a half of a pound or a half of an ounce in here because I'm just not going to leave a half an ounce. And it's calling for 3 tablespoons of butter and a 1/4 cup of the Swerve confectioner powder sweetener. I didn't have about a 1/4 cup. I mean, it's almost full, almost there. So that should be sweet enough because you got the sugar and everything in with the cinnamon rolls. A 1/4 teaspoon of vanilla extract, which I had put in here with the butter already. And it asks for coconut milk if needed or an almond milk if needed, but I'm not wanting to use that. The cream cheese should be sufficient enough for the frosting. I'm going to omit the low carb almond milk or coconut milk because I just don't need that. There's no reason to. So I have my butter and my warm cream cheese. It is not cold by all means. That's what I've been using for the rest of my stuff. And then I'm going to put my sweetener in here. It's going to get a little noisy because I'm fixing to, hopefully this don't go all over the place since I'm using a small bowl. Alright guys, they came out really good. I think I'm going to use this same icing for my lemon bread. I'm going to add some lemon in here. Later I'm going to make this and add it to my lemon bread and see how that turns out. Because the other one was a little bit gritty just yet. I'm still getting used to the keto sugars. But alright, let's put these up here. And that is a perfect taste. It's not too sweet. You could add the other 1/8 of that, the sugar, and it'd be really, really good. So now it should be cold enough to bring over. And then we're going to get a butter knife. Bring this over. And I already pulled a piece off. I cheated. Just so I could taste it to see how it was going to taste. So we're going to pull off this big one here. So let's separate it. And it cooled off 2 to 3 minutes. It's still really hot. Let's put it down on here. And I am really happy with these two, guys. It turned out really well. Let me hold this up for you. It's got some buoyancy to it. You know, it's not thin whatsoever. I mean, it looks delicious. So now we're going to go ahead and we're going to add our frosting on top of it. Oh, yummy. Keto delish. And it's still hot and it's melting. The cream cheese all over. Oh yes. Alright, and that'll leave me enough to go ahead and do the rest. Now, here comes the pull apart part. Let's bring you closer so that way. Down. It's getting crooked. Here, how about this? We're going to bring it up a little bit higher. There we go. So that way you guys can see. Now we're going to do the pull apart test. So, it pulls apart just like bread. You can see it pull apart. And it tastes exactly like a cinnamon roll. That is crazy, y'all. That is crazy. I was not expecting it to taste like a cinnamon roll. One thing, it was really good. One thing I did is, with my butter, I didn't have any unsalted butter, but I didn't put any salt in it either. Since this is a savory, make sure you use unsalted butter. But I mean, you can't tell the difference. It tastes really good. And it just pulls apart. Where do I stop off at? I mean, God. Let me see. Where did I move off to? There we go. I mean, look at the cinnamony goodness. I'm all fingerish over here. Instead of using a fork, but y'all know me, I'm redneck. I take and like it. And oh, look at the cinnamon. See if I can get the light in it. Oh, that's delicious. Shows you the inside. It's very fluffy, cinnamony. You could put more icing, less icing if you need to. I'm gonna go ahead and cinnamon roll these, icing these up and give my husband one. Wow, those are really good. Really, really good. So if you guys like it, go and look up that recipe, lowcarbyum.com. Very good recipe. I totally agree for it. It's really, really good. I'm going to eat the rest of this one and give one to my hubby, see what he thinks. Another recipe down that I was too skeptical of, and it fooled me. It fooled me, y'all. So what we're going to do is like, comment, subscribe if you like. Let me know in the comments below if you tried it. I think I'm going to add some walnuts or some pecans to it next time. Give it a little bit more, maybe even some Lily's chocolate chips, just to give it a little bit extra oomph. So, alright guys, thanks for coming along with me and enjoying another recipe. And it did turn out. So, alright, that's enough babbling on for me. I will see you in the next video. Thank you. I forgot to show you guys the cinnamon rolls that were in here. Look how golden brown they are. They are delicious. Alright, quick peek. Thank you guys so much. See you next time.